All right, we got the engine on the engine hoist, and we're going to try to get back in the truck. Take some maneuvering, so I'm going to take it slow. It's very long. It's hard to get it over the head and get this thing underneath. Let's get close. We'll move the camera. Let's see what I can do. Do here. All right, readjust it just a little bit. Let's see what we got here. This is where it would help immensely to have some help. Take it slow and steady. Keep back here and get wires out of the way, making sure they're out of the way. That flex plate's got some nasty teeth. Just a tad. Binding. See a little issue. I'm gonna take that wiring harness bolt off. Okay. Let's go down a little lower. Back, make sure nothing's. These engine wiring harnesses are expensive and hard to come by. I've been looking for a manual transmission one for years now, off and on. No luck. All right, we're actually a couple days later here, and when I started running out of daylight and getting the engine mated up to the transmission, and just kind of had to cut the video. I will say I had a lot of trouble getting everything to line up. What I did is I did put a jack down here in between the engine hoist, and then used a little 1x6 to move the transmission up a little bit. I think eventually I just let it back down on the blocks that were underneath here. You can see it's not, just a little gap in there, so I think it was just hanging there. But I have the engine leveler and just adjusting that eventually, and I think I got this 17mm bolt to line up first, and then ended up coming over here and putting a screwdriver in here, right there, and kind of rotating, because it wasn't lined up on this side, and rotating the engine until I got this bolt started in here. And then once I got two of them started, the next two went pretty smooth. Again, we got 4 17mm bolts. 2 on the passenger side and 2 on the driver's side. Go back over here to the passenger side real quick. You can see the other one there. I'm really not sure what this bolt here does, because there's just nothing to connect to. I think that it was just in there. I might ask on some forums, or poke my head if there was somebody had the same vehicle, see what's going on. What I am gonna do is, next is, I forgot to put this bracket on the throttle cable. So anyway, I'm gonna take this 17mm off here and put that on. All right, I'm gonna try to get in here and take this guy off. It's the passenger side engine to transmission bolt. And since I have a body lift, basically get up in here. With the impact driver. I can't remember if I needed that extension on there. Answer them. Just no, didn't. All right. Cool. I'm gonna show you something here that I've been trying to figure out. So that's this one on the right. It's the one I just took off. And you notice it's just a tad bit longer than the other ones. I'm gonna pull out the original. You can see it's hard to tell, but it's the exact same length, and it has this additional washer on here. It's also got a 6 on the head versus the other one's got 2 dashes. So, I think the only reason I can see for that is this very slim bracket. Anyway, I'm gonna go back in with that. I'm just gonna start it with my hand. So again, the other 3 are shorter, and I've been looking at diagrams, and one diagram I found online doesn't support that the longer one should be on the other side, perhaps on the driver's side bottom, which doesn't really make sense to me. And I can see the bottom bolts almost coming out, so I feel like you got most of your grip on the first 3 or 4 threads, so I'm not worried about them too much. Okay, pretty good start. I'm gonna go get a torque wrench and torque these all down to 53 foot-pounds. Now, the shorter the torque wrench, the better you're gonna be able to get in here. Okay. So I just got a 3/8 ratcheting torque wrench here. Trying to stay on the bolt. That impact driver doesn't have a lot of torque with it. I'm just not hammering it down. Gotta get close. This short handle is kind of hard. Back out here. Here I am. Back here. So I had the big impact driver, because it's kind of a hard one to get to. I'm gonna cut there. I'm gonna get these two to 53 and then go to the other side. All right, now we're over here on the driver's side lower engine to transmission bolt. I got a pretty big ratcheting torque wrench here. I got about a 6-inch extension, and I can actually get to this pretty easy, or relatively. Use the wire. Again, torquing down to 53 foot-pounds. So there we go. This big one is getting it on with a lot less torque. And lastly, I think the most accessible one, at least with the air box off, is right here. I'm going to take the camera off here. Okay, the ticket on this one was to get a shorter 3/8 inch ratcheting torque wrench. And with that, you can kind of get right there and go back and forth until you hear it click. Rather than keep going, I'm just gonna cut there, just because it's shaking and all over the place. But that's how you get to that one. Again, if you don't have a body lift, it might be a little more difficult. I did have like a swiveling attachment that I put in my pocket somewhere, but I can't find, so that would maybe make that easier or doable with the larger torque wrench. All right, the next one we're gonna do is just the engine mounts. We're gonna torque them down to 38. Still pretty much there. There we go. Let me check. Those are 14s. And go to the passenger side, do the same thing over here. Those are already there.